So one of the things we talk a lot about cloud is the on-demand scalability, right? Help me out, help me and help people out there understand what that means as it relates to cloud versus traditional systems.
Sure. So when we talk about kind of a cloud-based system, because there isn't a physical recorder at your site, you're not bound by one physical limitation inputs. So a lot of recorders these days have fixed channel counts. So when I want to say go put 8 cameras in, I can buy a system that is designed for 8 cameras. The moment that I need camera 9, that machine, that piece of hardware may not be able to take it either from a physical plug-in perspective or from a software perspective. They're kind of fixed in the channel count. So when I think about scaling an on-premise system, we have to kind of plan that out up front. So I have to know, is this as many cameras as I want? If not, then you're going to basically have to buy a unit that can take more channels. Right. And even that one might have a limit. So you typically go from 8 to 16
right.
to 32 to maybe 64. And if you plan on expanding or you have no plan on what to do, you may think that you're planning for the future. You get a 16 channel unit, and next thing you know, you may want to move up to 32 cameras.
Right. Right. We see that all the time.
It happens quite a bit, actually.
People will get the traditional on-prem system in place, and they like it so much, and they want to do more with it.
Exactly. And a lot of people don't always understand up front what you really want to cover with cameras. You get cameras in place, you realize you're missing field of views for certain entrances or exits, or high priority areas that you're worried about theft in, or vandalism, and next thing you know, they want to add a camera. So with the cloud platform, it's a subscription-based system. It's a service. So if I start with 8 cameras and I want to add a 9th camera, you add an additional license, and the subscription kind of gets rolled into your system, and you now have an additional channel. And that can be done at any time. It can be done on an unlimited number of camera slots. So if I start with 8 and I want to move to 60, you can absolutely do that. At that point, it's more of an infrastructure question than it is an actual security equipment question. And that question is going to come up regardless if it's on-premise or cloud. You're adding more cameras, you're going to need a bigger infrastructure regardless of the solution. But with cloud, I'm not having to buy any new hardware. Yeah. I'm not having to go and along with the recorder count and channel count, you're worried about storage. So as you add cameras, you obviously might need more hard drive space. We don't have to worry about that. Again, in the cloud, we have storage already slotted out for the entire platform. So if I want to add 30 more days of storage on existing cameras, I can do that by changing the plan. I just say I want to go from 14 to 30 days. I want to go from 30 to 90, whatever your needs are. We change the subscription plan, and the new hard drive space is automatically allocated.
And how long does that take?
It can happen. It's as soon as you kind of get your subscription change order put in. That comes over to us. We change it typically same day, and from that day forward, you start to extend beyond. So, say you're on a 7-day plan. Instead of starting to overwrite the oldest video, we start to extend it from that point forward, and you get your new retention time up to 14, whatever the plan is that you want to go to.
So if I go from 7 days, I know guaranteed I'm going to have 7 days of video. I move to 14, then I know I'm going to have 14 days, literally change within roughly 24-hour period.
Exactly,
so
and it can happen instantaneous, right? You still have to get your camera installed, if you're adding cameras, but for storage, I'm not having to go put a hard drive in. I'm not having to do calculations to determine what do I need in this recorder to go from, say, a 7-day retention to a 14-day retention for all of my cameras. You can do the math and do the calculations, and you can absolutely increase hard drive size for an on-premise recorder. It's more effort on your part. And it's going to take more time to do. So if there's mission critical evidence on a hard drive and you don't want it to be overwritten, you're going to have to find a way to get the video off of that drive, because obviously if you're going to replace the hard drive, you have to export evidence. So it just becomes more cumbersome to scale whenever you have to worry about physically swapping equipment.
Gotcha. So when we talk about on-demand scalability for Alibi Cloud VS, I also think of it as just future-proofing. The future-proofing's built into the system, right?
Yes.
From a storage perspective, from a number of cameras perspective, it's all easy.
Yes, it is.
All right, great.